Women are easily
ChatGPT
attracted
said
to men
she
who
may
know
never
these
say
things.
the
Ever
words
wondered
out
how
loud,
certain men
but
seem
her
to
actions
constantly get the
speak the
attention of
truth your
women,
heart needs to
whereas you're
hear.
usually
Because when a
stuck,
woman misses you
first few
deeply,
dates?
it's not in what she says, it's in what she can't hide, no matter how hard she tries. Sometimes when a woman misses you, she doesn't always say it. She won't send you a long poetic message. She won't always call you in the middle of the night confessing her feelings, but she'll show you. In ways only those who are truly paying attention will notice, because for many women, missing someone isn't always loud. It's in the silence, in the little habits, in the way she pulls away, just to see if you'll pull her back. Let's talk about it. The 12 signs she misses you deeply. 1. She randomly checks up on you even with the smallest excuse. Out of the blue, she texts, "Hey, I saw something that reminded me of you." Or just checking in, "How are you?" That's not random. That's her heart trying to touch yours without saying too much. 2. She's active on your social media silently. She views your stories, likes old posts, or reacts to memes you share. She might not comment or say anything direct, but she's watching, missing, and trying to feel close, even digitally. 3. She finds ways to bring you up in conversations. When talking to friends or even mutual connections, she casually brings your name into the discussion. It's her way of keeping you alive in her world, because she hasn't truly let go. 4. She still holds on to memories, whether it's a song, a movie, or a place, she still connects them to you. And when she hears or sees those things, you flood her mind. Nostalgia is a loud voice for the ones who miss deeply. 5. She reaches out when she's emotionally vulnerable. When something big happens, whether she's sad, overwhelmed, or even happy, she wants to share that moment with you. You were her safe place, and when she misses that, she instinctively turns back to it. 6. She tries to look her best when there's a chance of seeing you. If you run into her and she looks extra put together, it's not just coincidence. She's been thinking, hoping, wondering, what if I see him today? That thought alone means you're still taking up space in her heart. 7. She mentions the good times you had with a smile or a pause. She's replaying the moments, not because she's stuck, but because those moments mattered, and deep down, she's wondering if they still matter to you too. 8. She reacts with emotion when you bring up another woman. Even if she tries to play it cool, her eyes shift, her tone changes. There's a discomfort she can't hide, because if she didn't miss you, it wouldn't bother her. 9. She hasn't moved on even if it looks like she has. Yes, she might post pictures, hang out, even date, but if her energy still connects back to you, if there's no emotional depth in her new connections, she's just filling space, not replacing you. 10. She sends mixed signals. One moment she pulls you close, the next she distances herself. That confusion, that's someone battling between pride and longing, between wanting to be strong and desperately missing what you had. 11. She remembers the small things, your favorite drink, that inside joke, the way you liked your eggs in the morning. If she brings these things up, even in passing, it means you're still a part of her emotional memory. 12. She still believes in the possibility of you. Maybe she doesn't
Women
say
are
it out
easily
loud,
attracted to men
but
who
you
know
can
these
sense
things.
it in
Ever
her
wondered how
eyes, in
certain
her
men seem to
pauses, in the
constantly get the
softness
attention
of
of
her
women,
voice when she
whereas
talks
you're
to you?
usually stuck,
She hasn't shut the
first
door
few dates?
completely. She's just waiting to see if you'll open it. Ag-eye sometimes, when a woman misses you, it doesn't show up in grand gestures or dramatic declarations. It begins in the smallest corners of her day, in moments she doesn't even understand herself. One of the first and clearest signs that she misses you deeply is when she randomly checks up on you, even with the smallest excuse. You could be going about your day, thinking everything is fine and settled, and suddenly you get a text from her. Maybe it says, "Hey, just checking in," or "I saw something that reminded me of you," or even something as simple as "Are you okay?" and you might be tempted to brush it off as casual, friendly, or polite. But for a woman who still carries your presence in her heart, these little messages are anything but casual. That check-in isn't just about seeing how your day is going. It's a test, a soft knock on a door she's afraid to open fully. She's asking, "Do you still think of me?" without saying it. She's hoping you'll say something back that makes her feel remembered, and sometimes she doesn't even know why she's texting you. She just feels something heavy in her chest and needs to release it somewhere. And that somewhere, more often than not, is you. What's important to understand is that women often internalize their emotions. Society has taught many women to suppress what they feel, to not appear too needy or too emotional. So instead of saying, "I miss you," she wraps it in a casual sentence. She pretends like she just wants to catch up. She acts like it's no big deal, but it is. It's her way of maintaining a thread, a connection, without opening up all her vulnerabilities. It's protection wrapped in curiosity, because if she opens up too much and you don't respond with warmth, it might hurt more than staying silent ever could. When she checks on you, especially without a reason, it's rarely about your well-being. It's about her emotional anchor. She's reaching to see if there's still something there, if the bond still exists, even if just slightly. And when you respond, depending on how you do it, it either gives her a sense of peace or leaves her more confused. That moment, as small as it seems, carries the weight of unspoken feelings. It's the first signal that she hasn't moved on emotionally, even if her life on the outside looks put together. Sometimes she might do this during moments of silence or loneliness, late nights after a stressful day, or when she's scrolling through her camera roll and stumbles upon a photo of you two laughing. The memory brings warmth, but also a longing, and in that split second, she can't resist. She tells herself she's just saying hi, but in her heart, she's hoping you'll say something that brings it all rushing back. Something that proves you remember too, even if she sends a message that seems pointless or random, like asking for a song name or advice she probably doesn't need. Pay attention. That question isn't the real reason. It's the bridge she's building to feel your presence again, because when someone truly misses you, they find excuses to reconnect. They find reasons to appear in your notifications, just to feel a part of your world again, even if briefly. And here's what's even more telling. She doesn't do this with everyone. She's not checking on every ex or every guy who's passed through her life. This kind of emotional vulnerability is reserved for the one who left a mark, the one who still exists in the back of her mind when she's alone with her thoughts. So when you get that unexpected message or that curious check-in, don't dismiss it too quickly. Don't assume it's nothing, because for her, it took courage to reach out, even in that small way. ChatGPT said, "She's active on your social media silently. It may seem like nothing at first glance, but that silent presence is often louder than words. She's not liking every single post or dropping heart emojis in the comments, but she's there, watching your stories within minutes of you posting them, reacting to your updates even if she doesn't say a word. That kind of attention isn't accidental. It's not just because she's bored or has nothing better to do. It's a reflection of someone who still wants to feel connected to your world, even if she no longer has a front row seat in your life. When a woman misses you, she looks for ways to stay close, and in today's digital world, social media becomes her window into your life. She may have unfollowed you or stayed silent for a while, but when that emotional longing starts to grow, she'll creep back quietly, not wanting you to know that she's watching. It's not about being sneaky, it's about protecting her pride. Because Admitting she misses you would be exposing a vulnerability she's not ready to confront. So she scrolls, taps, watches, and scrolls some more. Every photo, every caption, every subtle change in your expression gets studied more than you realize. Not because she's obsessed, but because her heart is still attached to you, and this is the only way she knows to stay close without reopening old wounds. She doesn't just look at what you post, she reads between the lines. If you upload a song lyric, she wonders if it's about her. If you post a photo with friends, she tries to see if there's another woman in the background. If you seem too happy, it might hurt her a little. Not because she wants you to be sad, but because it's confusing to feel replaced when she's still carrying your memory so heavily. She becomes a silent observer in your life, someone who used to share those moments with you in real time, now trying to piece together your emotional state through images and captions. And it's not just about keeping tabs on you, it's also about reliving the past. She might go back to old posts you shared together or scroll through her own timeline, looking at pictures where you were both smiling, where love was still fresh, where everything felt safe. That nostalgia creates a loop she can't break out of easily. Every post from you, every memory triggered, every new face that shows up in your content, it all stirs something inside her. It's not about jealousy, it's about grief. Grieving the closeness you once had, the conversations, the connection, the warmth. There's also a part of her that hopes you notice, that you see her name pop up in your viewers list, that you catch that she watched your video all the way through. It's a subtle nudge, a way of saying, I'm still
Women
here,
are easily attracted
without
to men
having to
who
say
know
a
these
word.
things. Ever wondered how
It's
certain men
communication
seem to
without
constantly get the
conversation,
attention of women,
and if you do
whereas you're
respond,
usually stuck,
maybe by
on
liking
the
one of
first
her
few dates?
posts or reacting to her story, it can set off a ripple of emotion she's been suppressing. She starts to wonder, does he miss me too? For some women, social media becomes a safe space to express what they can't say out loud. They'll post a cryptic quote, a relatable meme, a sad song, and hope that you catch the message. They might even time their stories right after you post, hoping to catch your attention. All of this, as subtle as it may seem, is a reflection of emotional residue that hasn't cleared away, and when the missing runs deep, silence online becomes more revealing than words ever could. She finds ways to bring you up in conversations. It may sound unintentional, even innocent, but there's often much more behind it. When a woman misses you deeply, your name doesn't leave her mind easily, and somehow it slips into the flow of her everyday interactions. She might be talking to a friend about music, and out of nowhere she says, he used to love this song. Or during a casual chat about relationships, she mentions something you once said. It's not because she wants to talk about you, it's because she can't stop thinking about you, and it naturally spills into her words. This isn't just nostalgia, it's her subconscious trying to keep you alive in her present reality. Even if things didn't end on good terms, or there's been silence for a while, when you're still emotionally significant to her, she finds herself revisiting the parts of her life that involved you, not always directly. Sometimes it's disguised in the form of advice she repeats that you once gave. Sometimes it's a memory she shares with a laugh, trying to hide the ache underneath. But if someone's name keeps coming up, especially when they're no longer physically present, that's not coincidence, it's emotional residue. It happens most around people she trusts. She's not going to bring you up to just anyone, but with those close to her, she'll test the waters. Maybe she wants to see how they react to your name. Maybe she's hoping someone will give her some insight about you. She'll disguise it as a passing thought, but the truth is she's checking if there's still space for you, even if it's only in conversation. Sometimes she doesn't even realize she's doing it. That's the part most men don't understand. When a woman truly misses someone, it becomes second nature for her thoughts to orbit around them, and when thoughts become that constant, they naturally seep into speech. It's also her way of revisiting the emotions safely. Talking about you gives her a sense of closeness without having to reach out directly. She can test how she feels. She can measure the distance between where she was with you and where she is now. And if someone else talks about you first, watch how closely she listens. Her ears perk up, her face shifts, her curiosity is immediate, because even when she tries to move on, she still wants to know how you're doing, what you're thinking, who you're with. Not because she's obsessed, but because some parts of her still care. She might even do this in subtle, playful ways, bringing up an old inside joke, teasing about something you once did, or mentioning that a certain dish reminds her of you. These aren't just memories, they're emotional bookmarks, little cues that she's not ready to let go entirely, because if she had moved on
Women are easily
completely,
attracted to
you
men
wouldn't
who
take
know
up
these things.
space
Ever
in her
wondered how
dialogue
certain men seem
anymore.
to constantly get
You'd be a
the attention of
closed
women,
chapter,
whereas
not a
you're usually
recurring
stuck,
theme. And if she
first
finds
few
herself defending you when others speak negatively, that's another sign. It shows there's still emotional investment. She may act indifferent, she may try to brush it off, but words have power, and the way she continues to weave you into her speaks volumes. It's not that she wants to go back to the past, but she hasn't fully moved into her future without you either. Her heart is still negotiating with her mind, so she holds on to the only version of you that's still within reach. Your memory, your words, and the traces of your presence she carries in everyday talk. She still holds on to memories. Not just the obvious ones like birthdays or anniversaries, but the quiet, subtle ones, like the way your hand felt in hers, the sound of your laughter in the middle of a joke, or the specific way you used to say her name. These aren't just moments stored in her mind, they're pieces of her emotional world she hasn't been able to let go of. When a woman misses you deeply, she revisits those memories like favorite songs, letting them play on repeat in the silence of her heart. It's not always intentional. Sometimes a smell, a song on the radio, or a place you both went triggers the past, and suddenly she's right back there with you, feeling everything all over again. Even though she might be going about her day normally, smiling, working, interacting with people, there are moments where her mind drifts. Her heart reaches back to a time when things felt safe, when love still had its glow. And in those moments, it's not just remembering you, it's feeling you. That's what most don't understand. When a woman holds on to memories, she doesn't just think about what happened, she relives the emotional experience attached to it. The warmth, the comfort, the longing, the laughter, it all comes back like waves, uninvited but welcomed. She might find herself scrolling through old pictures, not to cry over them, but to feel connected to something she's missing now. She might replay old voice notes or videos just to hear your voice again, not because she's stuck in the past, but because the present doesn't quite feel the same without what she used to have with you. There's a part of her still anchored in the moments you shared, and as much as she tries to pull away from them, they have their own gravity. That gravity becomes stronger when she's alone, late at night, or emotionally vulnerable. That's when the memories come flooding in, and she lets them. It's also in the way she talks about those memories. If someone brings up a situation and she says, "He used to do that," or "We once went there together," she's not just offering commentary, she's trying to re-establish a sense of belonging to something that once brought her joy. It's a subtle declaration that she once mattered to someone in a way that was deep and personal. And the fact that those memories still live inside her so vividly shows she hasn't completely moved on, no matter what it might look like from the outside. Even in new environments with new people, she compares. Maybe not out loud, but in her heart. She notices the differences. She remembers how it felt when you looked at her a certain way, or how you made her laugh without even trying. Those memories become a silent standard
Women
she
are
can't
easily
help
attracted
but
to
measure
men
others
who know
against.
these things. Ever wondered
That's
how
the thing
certain men
about
seem
deep
to constantly
emotional
get the attention
bonds.
of women,
They don't
whereas
fade
you're
just
usually
because
stuck,
time
on
passes
the
or
first few
distance
dates?
grows. They stay, echoing in her behavior, in her thoughts, in the way she loves or hesitates to love again. She might even keep certain items that remind her of you. A hoodie, a handwritten note, a photo tucked away somewhere she doesn't look often but refuses to throw out. These things are more than objects. They're symbols of a time her heart still visits, and even if she's trying to move on, trying to rebuild, there's a part of her still standing in the doorway of what was, looking back with soft eyes and a whisper of hope. Not because she doesn't want the future, but because some memories are just too precious to forget. ChatGPT said, so if you've ever wondered whether she still thinks about you, look closer, not at her words, but at her patterns, her silences, her small emotional footprints. Because when a woman misses you deeply, it's not always loud or obvious. Sometimes it's hidden in her habits, her hesitation, and the moments she chooses to remember. And the truth is, when her heart still echoes with your name, no distance or silence can fully erase the bond she once felt.